Okay, episode 3 of WandaVision is out, and I got to see it I think 30 minutes after it was released at 2 a.m. last night because I work late. So let's get started. So looking at this one, I like how the first 2 episodes are like a 50s black and white TV show, and now we're in the 70s with the Brady Bunch. So that's pretty cool. Visually, that's really a cool difference. I like seeing that. So far, seeing all the differences in color from these classic TV show aesthetics from black and white to this colored 70s. So it's interesting to see that in this series so far. I do like a lot that this show, looking at this episode 3, I like the use of the practical effects. There's a lot of practical effects where Wanda will use her magic, but it will be practical effects out of the era. For example, whenever a baby crib is being built, and again, spoilers, but a baby crib is being built that she builds, and you see it looks like strings connecting all 4 of the base pieces for the baby crib. That's really cool, and I like that they went out and did that for this kind of thing. I'm surprised that they did that, but that's awesome. I really like seeing those practical old style effects, and it could have just been CG, but I don't think so. I think it was actual practical. So the big thing about this episode is that Wanda, in the last episode, got pregnant. And then in this episode, she's pregnant, but then she has a quick, rapid birth where, she literally gets pregnant, and then it's born the next day, or the twins are born the next day. So she has twins, and it's like a Seed of Chucky kind of thing, where, the voodoo pregnancy is going quicker than a regular pregnancy. It reminded me of that whenever I just thought about that. I always think about Seed of Chucky, all the time. But that was funny, thinking of the same kind of pregnancy thing where it's it's accelerated. It's really fast. I don't typically think of Seed of Chucky that much, but that thought was pretty funny, accelerated birth. That reminded me of Seed of Chucky. But yeah, she gets pregnant and has a couple babies. She has Tommy and Billy, which I don't know anything about the comics with Scarlet Witch or Vision, so I don't know anything about what these characters are. I guess they're just superpowered and will turn superpowered adults later along the line, but I don't know. But I just like the idea. I thought it was funny of Wanda getting pregnant, and then Geraldine comes in, who's the character that I was saying in the first video for episodes 1 and 2 was the little girl on Captain Marvel, but now she's a grown-up adult in this time period, because it's in the current time after Avengers Endgame. So Geraldine, who I really thought was hilarious. I really liked how she played a Foxy Brown type of character. I think she even named herself Foxy. She wasn't a hitman or anything, but she was just she had the afro, and she was really funny, and just that actress really does an awesome job. The girl who plays Geraldine, I don't know what her name is, but there was a really hilarious thing where Wanda is trying Wanda's kind of going out of whack. She's pregnant, so all her magic is going out of whack. So then there's a stork that was on a picture that was painted. It comes to life. It's walking around the couch, getting close to Geraldine, and Geraldine's gonna be like, "What's that?" And Geraldine is talking to Wanda, acting like she doesn't even realize it's there. And Wanda keeps trying to make ways to have this stork be moved and just out of the way while Wanda is just yapping, and it's really, really funny. And it really just, that kind of stuff in this made me laugh a lot. And also the thing I like too is whenever the episode got towards the end, in the first 2 episodes, we kind of got inklings of this is just an illusion, because in the first episode it zooms out in the credits to a TV in the real world, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, current timeline, because it's in color and it shows that it's on black and white on a little TV. But then episode 2, Wanda finds that helicopter that's colored, and then she and Vision turn color at the end of that episode. So I think that's cool to see that. And then this episode, it's hilarious looking at those kind of build-ups to then having the build-up of Wanda having twins, and then the big, I think, oh shit moment where Wanda says, I was a twin, to Geraldine, and she says, Petro, like he was killed. And then Geraldine says, he was killed by Ultron? And then I like that look that Wanda gives her. Like, it's a death looking look at her. Like, she looks at her like she's going to kill her. Like, I hear that Scarlet Witch in the comics has gone dark, kind of like maybe like Phoenix or something, or like Jean Grey. I'm assuming is what it's probably going to be like. But I thought that was cool to see that now we're in the reality breaking, like of her being in this, Wanda being, I guess, in this reality, but I guess Vision's alive. I don't understand if Vision is still a manifestation of like her reality or if he is really there. Like, I don't understand that, but I know it's a build up that we're going to get the mystery resolved for, but I don't know. And I really just like that connection because Petro hasn't been mentioned in like a lot of movies, like since Ultron. I don't think he's been mentioned again. At least I don't remember. Maybe he was mentioned in Civil War, but I definitely don't think he was mentioned in any other ones. But that was cool, a cool throwback to, because I like whenever the Marvel shows and movies do this, where they connect to an old character that you haven't seen in a long time. I can't wait for them to have Betty Ross in She-Hulk. That's going to be great because I really love that character in the Incredible Hulk movie. But I like when Marvel does that, the MCU. Like, I think that's fun when they connect them back. Because you're like, oh, I just totally didn't think about that character for a long time. But I like the fact that Vision is kind of up on, like, looking at it too, like, what is going on? Like, this is so weird. Like, why is everybody acting weird? And then you have Catherine Hahn and the neighbor with the afro, and they both are acting really weird, and they're saying lines that, like, Vision doesn't understand. And I think that just the build up to the end I thought was really effective, and I did like how this one in particular, this episode, like, I think they keep getting better each episode. Like, this one is really good. And I liked seeing that at the end of the episode, Geraldine is literally like thrown out of this reality that Wanda is in, because you see like this big gated fence, and like around it is like colors of this like kind of force field that's like probably having all of Wanda's reality in, where she's imagining this reality. So I think that's a really cool way to connect it to the outside world. So I wonder where they're going to go with this. I mean, it's probably going to be pretty obvious because Marvel isn't very like, you don't look at Marvel for like good mysteries or like suspense, but I think that this so far, this show is doing a good job, a really solid job of being suspenseful and interesting. So can't wait for the next one. I'll talk about it next week whenever it comes out. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.